It seems like Empire War just keeps going from strength to strength these days, because it got yet another update after its release 18 years ago. The update ranges from up to 50% increase in performance on galactic maps, major multiplayer bug fixes, minor quality of life changes, and some big backend tweaks that gives a ton of power to people who mod the game. So let's get right into it. So first up, big optimizations for the galactic maps. Significant changes were made to how objects are handled and rendered, making them less intensive and bringing a faster load, with up to a 50% frame rate improvement for players. This change will also bring those performance improvements to mods that use Forces of Corruption expansion and not the base Empire War game. With Empire War being released in 2006, the game is mostly bottlenecked by the single core hertz power of your CPU, so a change like this is really welcomed. But what if you're still suffering with FPS issues and stuttering? Well, I did make a video 2 years ago that increased my performance by over 200%, so go check that out, see if those changes apply to you. Finally, these changes shouldn't be mistaken for other things that contribute to lag, like the AI making calculations in the background. Despite this improvement seeing most change in large galactic maps that have about 200 planets, which does require larger amount of AI calculations. Multiplayer also saw some small and big changes too. One popular and annoying bug was players being able to bypass the password requirement in protected lobbies for games. But the one change I'm really happy about is in space skirmish mode. In skirmish, you're able to capture asteroids to increase your income, and then to increase your income even more, you'd pay for a research buff that would then increase the income from your captured asteroids even more. This is a big thing because if you had 4 captured asteroids, that buff would be applied to all 4 of them. But in fact, that never happened. For years, the bug would only apply the buff to new asteroids you captured after the research had been completed. So sometimes it was a benefit for the enemy to destroy a few of your asteroids so you could recapture it and get that deserved buff you paid for. This has now been fixed and income strategies have been streamlined to the way they were intentionally coded. There were a few other miscellaneous bug fixes that weren't officially documented too, but before I run through them, the one bug fix I love the most by far is that you can now select and highlight ships that are coming in from hyperspace. Oh my god, this stuff used to drive me crazy because in skirmish you deploy your ship in a pretty risky place, and when the hyperspace animation finished, the UI finally pops in and you'd realise your ship shields are gone and you've lost a ton of the hull. Now you can see it in real time and give actions to your ships to perform when the animation has ended. Thank God. The other fixes range from numerous cooldown timers being fixed, like the TIE Defender's active ability, units don't get stuck when you deploy them on terrain that's within the landing zone anymore, and one big change was that the weapons and abilities move with transport units in ground battles now. This is kind of a big deal because before, units would still have their healing AoE, weapons that deal damage, and more still occur from the location they were last picked up from, a transport vehicle. Only they were completely invisible and sometimes unable to be damaged. And finally, this fix was documented, which is the game doesn't crash after retreating from a ground battle after Chewie captured a vehicle. There has been many back-end changes for modders as well. One very popular modder and close friend, Corey Loses, explains how the category masks in the Lua scripts have been changed from 32-bit to 64-bit, which allow for far more changes to elements of the game. Modders can now adjust, disable, and modify the UI and text of your HUD. Texture size limits have been lifted, which may be proven useful for projects like Empire War Remake, and add other cool features like hidden planets that don't appear on the galactic map. I won't go into too much detail on this because this is Corey Loses' area of expertise, so I'll leave a link to his coverage of the update in the description and pinned comment for you to check out and get more information. Finally, I want to cover the general supportiveness from Petroglyph. It's been 18 years and they still have people actively working on making the game the best it can be, all whilst giving more and more power to modders and their projects. It's not just Petroglyph, it's awesome that Lucasfilm Games and Disney allow for such an old game to have such updates, as well as communication between official devs and modders being so open and accepted. And I think this is a net positive because, did you know, Empire War on stream continuously grows in active users year by year. It's true, 450 users in 2014, 1,200 in 2017, 2,000 in 2019, and 3,500 active users in 2024, all playing daily. And I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't for Petroglyph, Disney, and the awesome modders that keep the game alive, all having a mutual respect and appreciation in Empire War. And that's pretty much the update. Personally, I'm really excited for the future of Empire War, and of course, if you want more EcksToo videos, I'll leave one in the end screen that will be appearing right after this. Take care, guys.